everyone, Angela Topman here, and I am here with Brandy Pausek from Bison Ventures and VIP Mortgage, and we wanted to bring you some information today as it relates to what's happening in the real estate market and what you need to know in order to move forward if you're looking at buying or maybe even selling a house. And so thank you, Brandy, for being with me.
Of course.
So the first thing I want to get into a little bit is what we're seeing in the industry as a whole, in the market here in the Valley. I know that you had mentioned that you're seeing an uptick in applications. Are those refinances, home purchase applications? What are you seeing as we've seen interest rates come down a little bit?
So I've actually seen an uptake in both. We have a lot of people that have been, they purchased in the last year and a half or so, and so they're really looking forward to getting into a lower interest rate, like we said we would see. So it's great to really be able to provide that. And then as far as buyers are concerned, they're hearing as well that rates are coming down, and so we're seeing those pre-qualification requests come in.
Okay, perfect. So if you're getting pre-qualification requests, that translates into people shopping for homes.
Correct.
Probably.
Yes.
So if somebody has been waiting and they've been looking to time the market, wait for the interest rates to come down, would you say now is a good time? Or do you have people who are still waiting, and is that something you recommend?
Sure. Well, honestly, for me, if you're ready to buy a house, it's a good time to buy. Timing the market is really, really tough, even for us as people in the industry. So I would say the reason why right now is a good time is because we have a good supply on the market. We're still below our normal supply numbers, but we have a much more robust supply now than we've had in the past. That allows you to find a great deal on a house price. And then, maybe the interest rate isn't as ideal now. We still hope to see that continue to trend down. And so we would have the opportunity to refinance you in the future. Right now is a really good time to buy because of home price. So once those interest rates do come down, if they do, we're going to see more and more people come into the market to buy. That's going to make our supply lower, drive up demand, and ultimately drive up home price. And so you will pay more for a property, lose out on more equity if you don't buy now.
And for people who are trying to decide between what's more important, a better home price or a better interest rate, what would you say to them? If they say, I'd rather wait 6 months and see if I can get another 0.5%.
Sure.
What would you advise those clients?
I think that it depends on what you want to see for your cash to close and what you want to see for your monthly payment. So those are two things that we want to make sure you're comfortable with each one. Right now, you're likely to come in with less cash to close, less down payment because you would potentially pay less for the house.
Right.
Whereas if you were to wait, you may have a lower payment, but you don't know. That's an unknown because you're going to be paying more for that house. Mm-hmm. So your monthly payment might actually be the same, but you will lose out on all of that equity because you waited.
Right. And a year from now, you may be able to refinance, but you can't renegotiate the price of the home that you
Exactly.
paid. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's move on and talk a little bit about all these changes in the industry we've been hearing about. So we know that the way they're doing agent compensation is different, specifically buyer agent compensation. A lot of people, I think, are under the impression that that means that buyer agents are not going to be compensated and they cannot be compensated through the listing agent or through the seller. And so, we want to talk about that and let you know that that's not actually the case. There is still opportunity for buyers to negotiate purchase contracts that include sellers covering the buyer agent fee. And so it's all part of that negotiation process. One piece of that has been a concern and was in the very beginning, but we've gotten some great news on that, is what that does to your limits on concessions. And so from a lender's perspective, there are limits based on your loan amount and how much you put down, how much a buyer can accept in seller credits.
Right.
The great news, though, is that buyer compensation that is covered by the seller does not count as part of those concessions. So even though it might be called a concession, how is it treated by the lender?
So that is something that is separate as far as the buyer agent commission goes for being paid. It is not included in the maximum amount a seller or an interested party can contribute in closing costs. I think that's important key too, is that any interested party, whether it be the seller or a realtor or anybody like that, they can only contribute towards closing costs. They cannot contribute toward the down payment. But yes, buyer concessions and closing cost credit are completely separate.
And those are documented a certain way, and your agent can help you with that. A great realtor, hopefully you're working with somebody who's keeping you informed and educating you on the process, which is what I hope that we're doing here for you today. And VA borrowers, that's another issue that has come up because historically VA borrowers have not been able to pay agent compensation as part of a home purchase, but that for now is no longer the case as well.
Right. They actually just came out and said that that rule is permanent now, that the buyer can pay those concessions. And again, it's not considered a closing cost concession.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here joining me, thank you so much. This is why it's so important to have people in your corner who are keeping you informed, who are there to help educate you every step of the way and guide you in your real estate transactions and your processes. If you have any questions about anything that we've shared here today, please reach out, let me know. If you'd like some additional information about what we chatted about today, you can check out in the captions here how to get that information sent right to you via text or email.
All right.
Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you.